Go. HTMX SQLite. 3 boring technologies, not one of them new. And in the age of AI, they might be the single best way to ship software. Here is the shift almost everyone missed. When a machine writes most of your code, the winning stack is whatever that machine can generate correctly on the first try, not whatever has the biggest ecosystem. Start at the front end. Your model wants to write HTML. It thinks in HTML. So why do we keep asking it to write JavaScript that compiles back down into HTML? Every time an agent writes React, its idea travels through 2 translation layers, HTML in its head, out as JSX, through a build step, back to HTML. Every hop is a chance to get it wrong. HTMX removes those layers. The server sends HTML, the browser swaps it into the page, and that is the whole model. The format the AI already speaks runs straight to the screen. It is also tiny, 14 kilobytes gypped and 0 dependencies. You add 1 script tag and you are done. Now the database. This is SQLite, and the entire thing is one file sitting on disk. No server running, no port open, no password to rotate. It is the most deployed database on the planet. It is in your phone, your browser, your car. And in 2026, it quietly graduated from prototype toy to production default. On an ordinary machine, it handles tens of thousands of writes a second and returns reads in under a millisecond. For most apps, that is not a trade-off. It is an upgrade. Holding it all together is Go. Write the code, run one command, and out drops a single binary. Copy that one file to a server, and it runs. Nothing to install. So here's the plan. Why AI changes the rules, then each piece in turn, the front end, the language, the database, and at the end, the honest catch, because there always is one. Let me make the AI argument concrete. An engineer at Anthropic showed something quietly telling this year. Hand a capable model a task, leave it alone, and what it hands back is HTML. Tables, layouts, little interactive widgets, that is its native output. Nobody has to prompt it to get there. And the reason is almost dull. HTML is the thing the browser actually renders. Everything in between, JSX, a template language, a markdown pass, is a translation you are asking the model to perform. Translations leak. Fewer of them means fewer places for a hallucinated import or a broken tag to hide. Look at what HTMX code actually says. A button with one attribute. On click, get this URL, and drop the answer right here. The server returns a plain snippet of HTML. HTMX slots it into the page and updates the address bar. That is the entire trick, and there is no build step in sight. There is no component tree, no client state that can drift out of sync with the server, no hydration mismatch at midnight. An AI can write this, and this is the part that matters. A human can read it in one glance and see that it is correct. The reviewer stops being the bottleneck, and it does far more than click to load. Add a couple of attributes and a search box queries the server as you type, debounced, results streaming into the list as the words land. The kind of live search that used to be 100 lines of React state becomes a few honest lines of HTML. Now compare that to the React mistakes an AI makes again and again. Hook ordering rules, stale effect dependencies, controlled versus uncontrolled inputs. These are famous foot guns. They are genuinely hard to train away, and the nasty ones sail right past the type checker and only break at runtime. People used to say HTML was too verbose to send over the wire. That was a rule from the 8,000 token days, back when GPT-4 was new. Your model now reads 1 million tokens at a sitting, so the verbosity costs almost nothing, and the clarity it buys you is worth everything. And HTMX is not some fringe experiment. 48,000 GitHub stars, version 4 already in beta, 0 dependencies, a genuine community around it. The web spent 15 years getting steadily more complicated. This is that spring finally releasing. Onto the language holding the server together. Why does an AI write good Go? Because Go was designed so there is basically one obvious way to do each thing. Small language, small surface area, very few clever corners for a model to wander off and hallucinate into. Here is a complete web server. Import net HTTP from the standard library, define a handler, listen on a port. No framework to choose between, no dependency to install, no config file to bless. The batteries you need to serve real traffic are already in the box. Then you build it, and Go compiles in seconds. A cyclic import is a hard error, so the dependency graph stays a clean tree the compiler can chew through in parallel. What comes out the other end is one static binary. No interpreter, no virtual machine, no shared libraries to match. Think about what that hands a machine that is deploying code for you. No node modules folder with 100,000 files, no lock file roulette between install and deploy. One binary, a few megabytes, and it behaves the same on your laptop as it does on a $5 server. And the compiler is the AI safety net you did not know you wanted. When the model guesses a type wrong or forgets to handle an error, Go flatly refuses to build. The mistake dies on your machine in seconds, not in production, in the dark, at 2 in the morning. That last part is deliberate. Go forces you to handle errors out in the open, right where they happen, so a model cannot quietly swallow a failure the way it can in a language with invisible exceptions. What could go wrong is written down in plain sight every time. Concurrency is built in on top of all that. One routine per request, thousands running at once, in a language a model already writes fluently. For serving the kind of small, sharp glue code that AI generates all day, it is very close to ideal. And if you doubt that Go is the language serious teams reach for now, look at the loudest tell of all. Microsoft just rewrote the entire TypeScript compiler in Go for a roughly tenfold speedup. When the JavaScript world itself needs real performance, it quietly reaches for Go. Back to that one file. The thing people keep missing about SQLite is everything it quietly removes. There is no second machine to run, no network hop between you and your data, no connection pool to tune, no credentials sitting in an environment variable waiting to leak into a log. Your queries run inside the very same process as your code, so a read is a function call, not a round trip across a network. That is where the sub-millisecond number comes from. The data is simply already there, in memory, sitting right next to the code that asked for it. But backups, you are thinking? Durability, a real disaster story? This is Litestream. It tails SQLite's write-ahead log and streams every single change up to cloud object storage, continuously. Your one little file gets point-in-time recovery, and there is still no database server running anywhere. And when you truly need to go global, Turso takes that exact same file and replicates it across 30 regions, with reads landing in around 600 microseconds. That is up to 1,000 times faster than a managed Postgres sitting in one data center across the country from your user. It even makes multi-tenant SaaS simpler instead of harder. Give every customer their own database, because a database is only a file. Spinning up a fresh one costs nothing. No noisy neighbors, perfectly clean isolation, and deleting an account is just deleting a file off disk. And here's the part that truly earns the phrase AI era. SQLite now does full text search and vector search inside that same one file. Your embeddings, your documents, your app data, all together. The entire retrieval layer for a RAG app with literally nothing else to deploy or pay for. And for the AI writing your queries, plain SQL, checked by the database the instant it runs. No ORM layer in the middle translating and hiding what really happens. The thing that writes the query and the thing that executes it finally speak the exact same language. And here is the payoff that ties the whole thing together. This stack is small enough that an agent can hold your entire codebase in its head at once. No hidden framework magic, no generated files, no sprawling dependency tree. The AI can read all of it, and code it understands is code it gets right. Step back and see the shape. HTMX deletes the front-end translation, Go deletes the deploy and the type mistakes, SQLite deletes the entire database tier. 3 boring choices, and each one erases a layer where a machine would otherwise slip. Now the honest part, because I promised one. This is not magic, and it is not for everything. If you need heavy, sustained writes from many machines at once, a trading engine, a fire hose of logs, go get Postgres. SQLite takes one writer at a time, and that is a real ceiling. And if you are building Figma, or a live collaborative spreadsheet, or anything with deep client-side state, React and its ecosystem still earn every kilobyte. HTMX is for hypermedia apps. That is most apps. It is not all of them. But for the enormous middle, the dashboards, the internal tools, the SaaS products, the exact things AI is now writing by the thousand, this quiet little trio is one of the strongest bets on the whole board. 4 numbers to keep, 1 file for the database, 1 binary to deploy, 14 kilobytes on the front end, and 0 translation layers between the model and the screen. Boring on purpose, powerful almost by accident. Build the thing the machine can actually get